Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Terry Pasquarelli with MVP Realty.
I'm Rich Pasquarelli with MVP Realty.
It's time for us to go out and get a morning coffee, and rather than take another drive downtown, we thought we might spend our morning here at the Naples Botanical Garden. It'll be a great morning to have a walk and hopefully get you some coffee too.
Oh, they have a great cafe here, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's called the Fogg Cafe. That's a place that we'll meet up and be able to do some planning for the week and enjoy our tea and coffee. So join us as we take our morning walk at the Naples Botanical Garden and end up at the Fogg Cafe. If this video is of help to you and interest about things to do in Naples, Florida, we hope you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way you'll be sure to see every episode that we post here to the channel. All things Naples, Florida and Southwest Florida. We're glad you're with us. Thanks for joining, and hey, let's go do our morning walk and let's talk about it. Let's go in. Well, that was a really nice walk in the garden this morning.
Sure was. It's always nice here, especially first thing in the morning. Hardly anyone is here, so it was really nice.
That's right. We came in between 8 and 9 in the morning, which is a special member hour, and now the garden will be open to the public starting at 9 o'clock.
Yep.
For the rest of the day. And so we do like coming out a little bit earlier for the peacefulness of it, and just it feels like it's your own garden in your own backyard.
Right. Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Excellent.
So what was your favorite part this morning? It's so different every season that we come, and every time we visit the garden, we see something a little bit different. So curious about what your favorites are this morning.
It is, but I always like the orchid part of it. That's it's always something in bloom. There's always some great stuff over there.
Right.
I mean, it's I like the ponds with the lily pads in there. Those are can't be beat. But it's usually, for me, it's the orchids. There's always a lot to see. So
I can't disagree that they have such an amazing collection that at one point in the year in February they have a special orchid show for several weeks. They have so many varieties, things I've never seen anywhere other than in this garden, and they all just seem to be tended to perfection. I don't think I could ever keep up with flowers and things the way that they do here.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
so pretty. But the other one that I like, in addition to that Brazilian garden that has the lily pads and the bridge that's behind us with a lot of lake and lily pad around it, which is real pretty, is I also love that Asian garden. You feel
Oh,
like you're
yeah.
a million miles away. It's really peaceful.
Right.
So that's one of my favorite parts of this garden as well. And if we had had more time, we probably would have done what we do many times when we come out early, which is to take a walk around the lake. There's a large lake with a birding observatory at the far end. It's paved. You could even turn it into a 5K if you went around a few times. It's a full mile. It's
yeah.
a mile, so you'd have to go around a few times.
All
Yes, it's paved around the lake. And then there's an uplands trail that is more gravelly and through the woods and
Okay.
over a wooden bridge. But when you get out around the lake, they do have a paved section. So you could take a nice walk or a run out there. And we often go out there looking at birds and
Yeah, I like to
things
bring
in the water.
my camera with the telephoto lens out there, and usually see some birds and even some huge. I saw a huge turtle in the water one day, and as soon as I called my friend over to take a look, he was already gone. So but they're there. I mean, this guy, he had to be at least 2.5 feet.
Whoa.
So he was big. So
That's something. I guess they
yeah,
love
in
this
the water.
subtropical
Yeah,
environment. They
yeah.
really thrive here.
Yeah.
And there's so many beautiful species of plants as well as the wildlife that you can see while you're here.
Mm-hmm.
And yet it's a pretty compact garden. You can see the whole thing in one visit, and it's worth coming back as they rotate exhibits. And at a certain point in the year, you have to keep an eye out for those tickets for night lights in the garden, which is another favorite part of the year in the garden for me.
Yeah,
when you
they
come back
always-
in the evening at the holidays.
Yeah, they usually, especially during season, they have different things going on, and you can come here for night lights. They have different exhibitions that they have going on.
Musicians
Sometimes
playing
they
in
have
the garden, which
musicians
is so
playing,
peaceful.
especially like at the night lights. They have some musicians playing, and you walk through here at around Christmas time at night, and the whole place is lit up very tastefully. And they have musicians here and there, and they have different snack booths and things like that. So it's a fun time to come.
Absolutely. And as you can see, because I was thirsty, we stopped at the Fogg Cafe
Oh,
at
yes.
the end of our walk in the garden this morning. I always think about museum or garden food establishments as probably being just a place to grab a water. But with the Fogg Cafe, I'd have to say they have really taken it up a notch.
They really have.
They have such fresh ingredients.
Yeah, they have. What I like is they have the salmon and poached eggs and the avocado toast. It's they really do have a very nice menu here.
They do. Croissants, sandwiches, salads. So you can really eat here all day long. But it's a great brunch place. So a tip for you if you're local and haven't spent a morning here to eat, or if you're visiting in Naples, definitely think about the Fogg Cafe. Now this morning I couldn't help myself. I did have to order, and I took it to go, so it's in this nice box. I asked for their famous banana bread, and it came with this beautiful side of cut fruit as well. So when I'm home later and need a little bit of a snack, I've got a really lovely treat from the Fogg Cafe. But I guess the other part for us is we come out, and it's always nice to have a morning coffee or tea and do a little bit of planning and think about what's ahead in the next week or a couple of weeks for us. And,
Right.
yeah, here we are at it again. Think it's a good way to walk and think, and I somehow sort out all of the priorities and what we need to get going on. And I guess this week a lot of it is doing some video editing and bringing up all the stories that we've been working on,
Right.
and updates, and also planning some travel. I think one of the things with Florida that we always appreciate, as beautiful as it is here, is that we can get away as well, and
Yeah.
it won't be too long till we take a little road trip up to Orlando.
Our summertime is really a good time for us to travel and get away, and then we can come back for the winter where it's just spectacular here. So we might take some little day trips or weekend trips and leave the house and get out and see some different sights. So this
That's
is a
right.
good time for us to do that.
So I think actually we're going to see some family coming up soon, and that'll be a treat after a long time, and friends. And we also have that little side road trip up to Orlando and back, and we can get a lot done up there in 4 or 5 days, and it's only about a 2.5, 3 hour drive, I guess,
Right.
depending on traffic on I-4.
Right, yeah. All depends on I-4. So
We love how the roads are here. Not so keen on how the roads are right there near Orlando, but it doesn't take that long,
No.
and it's a great getaway.
It
It
is.
doesn't have to be an expensive one, but there's so much we can reach just right from this location.
Right.
So
Oh, absolutely.
I think we have a lot on our plate coming up in the next few weeks and months, as well as some customers coming back to town to work with us and some new customers that we'll be working with. So as we sort out our priorities, I think our calendar in a nice way is balanced between getting in a few personal things and
Right.
doing some really great real estate work with some very lovely couples and families and seeing how we can help them find their next best home.
Right. Now, I noticed a few things. I'm sure you noticed it as well in the real estate world, is that I'm starting to see more and more houses that are taking a price reduction. I'm seeing open houses where, just a few months back, you wouldn't find an open house because they were just sold so fast. Now they're starting to see some open houses, maybe some price reductions, maybe homes that have been on the market for 30 days or more. So I'm seeing more and more of that coming into this fall season.
That's right. And I think there's been, perhaps that natural dip in people out looking. Locals may be traveling. We talked about it. It's a great time of the year for us to get a little bit of travel in. And people from out of state are often waiting until the weather gets not so nice at home, and then they're ready to come here.
Right.
So, and I think sellers anticipate that. They may be holding on. If there are homes on the market right now, they're obviously trying to sell them. New inventory, I hope will still increase. I'd love to see more.
Right.
But for the homes that are on the market, the good ones go. I have to say, people should be ready to buy if
The
they
good
see
ones
the
go.
right home at the right price.
And then sometimes there's still some unrealistic sellers that are holding out for the perfect buyer that wants to pay them so much more than what they've listed the house for. And they ended up, I've seen a couple of times where they've ended up losing a solid buyer offering asking price, and they haven't taken it. And then they end up, the buyer goes someplace else and finds something perfect, and then the seller is all of a sudden he's sitting there for another 20 days before still hasn't found somebody yet.
Right. So there's that interesting balance and maybe rebalancing of our
It is.
market right
It's
now, which is
rebalancing,
good
yeah.
for buyers,
Right.
and I think is good for realistic sellers, because when buyers are out with us, whether they're local buyers who are moving to a new community or someone coming in now to say, hey, Terry and Rich, we're going to come visit you. Well, let's get out and look at property. These are serious buyers.
Oh, yeah.
They're here for a reason.
Right.
They're not just happening to be here for the winter looking around.
Right.
So I don't think we have as many lookers. We have more serious,
We have serious
thoughtful
people,
buyers.
and they know that they're not going to just jump on the first thing that they find and offer way more than what they feel they can afford or what it's worth to them. So they're being a lot more particular about what they are putting offers in on.
Absolutely. So it's a fun time in real estate because we get to really see a new mix of homes and maybe a new mix of buyers who are preparing for the fall and winter season. And it keeps us out of trouble or in trouble, as the case may be.
Right.
But it's been great to balance that with a little bit of travel. We
Yep.
came back from a cruise not long ago.
Right.
We have some other travel coming up, and we just find those little pockets of opportunity where our schedule's not so full, and we're really in a great position to kind of take best advantage of
Oh,
that.
absolutely. We have some people coming in that are already scheduled that they were coming down, and,
That's
and
right.
we've blocked off our time for them. And so if you're thinking about coming down, just give us a call, send us an email, and we'll make sure that we are here ready for when you come down. We've had a couple of people give us a call and say, hey, we're in Naples, we'd like to go out and take a look at a house this afternoon. Well, that's kind of tough because we've already booked with someone else that emailed us 4 weeks ago.
Or
So
called us, right?
You're right.
and planned.
So,
And we do our best. We have certainly turned around within a day or so and helped people at the spur of the moment.
Right.
But it is great to do just a little bit of planning, especially if somebody's from out of town and they really want to make that trip count.
Right.
We'd love to get you on our calendar so that the time is dedicated to you, and you know that you have our full attention. We'll do our best always, but definitely a little bit of notice goes a long way.
It
And
helps. Yep.
yeah, we like to do a little planning so we can be best prepared to make that a productive trip, whether
Well,
it's an
that's-
educational trip or a buying trip.
Right,
for a
right.
buyer.
And that's true, because if you do a little bit of planning, you'll get so much more out of it.
That's right.
Than if you just, oh, I want to see a house this afternoon. If if you're from up north and you're down here on a vacation, and we try to fit you in, but if you give us some time and we both do some planning, then we can make it a whole lot more productive for you.
Absolutely. And if we haven't mentioned it before, let me remind everybody that we've also put together a quick resource sheet. It's just the front and back of one piece of paper. You can send it to you electronically, and it is tips for planning a productive home buying trip in Southwest Florida.
Right.
Things that are really helpful to think about when you're still at home before you ever get down here, that will again help you prepare and get ahead of the curve on questions that are inevitably going to be asked of you if you
Right.
want to put a contract in as a buyer to try to purchase a property here, and things that will make your life less stressful.
Sure.
Buying a property in Southwest Florida if you don't currently live here. And for our local buyers, we have other resources that we can share if you need to understand who good home inspectors are, who does home appraisals. If you're doing even a cash offer, if you want to do an appraisal, there are appraisers that work independently, not only through lenders, and then other things would be insurance companies.
Insurance companies, so-
We have a variety of resources that we can help share with our local customers, as well as those that are coming to see us from all parts of the U.S.
Right.
And we're really, again, just trying to get organized for everybody's sake to make sure that it's a really productive time that we spend together.
Yep.
That's great. Well, we really appreciate you joining us on our Monday morning coffee and tea time out at the Naples Botanical Garden and here at the beautiful Fogg Cafe. Again, if you found some value in the tips we're sharing and the information and the view of Naples as we share our daily experiences with you, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, to hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications. That'll make sure that you're aware of our videos every time we post a new episode to this channel. And it helps the algorithm to also share our information with other people who can benefit from it the way that you have. It doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
There's no obligation, and we really appreciate it. We have some work to do based on all the things we prioritized on our walk this morning, so I think we better finish our coffee and our tea, wish you a great day, and say thank you. If you are selling, buying, or investing in Southwest Florida, give us a call. I'm Terry Pasquarelli, MVP Realty.
Rich Pasquarelli with MVP Realty.
You can reach us at 239-300-6047. Our other contact information is below in the description. Have a terrific day.
Thumbs up. Bye now.
Bye now.